Hi, I'm Gail and welcome back to Low Carb Recipe Ideas. Today we're going to make low carb shepherd's pie. We're not going to use potatoes, we're going to use cauliflower again. Cauliflower is a great substitute for potatoes, so let's get started and we'll see how it goes. So the first thing we need to do is steam our cauliflower because that's going to be our mashed potatoes on our shepherd's pie with cauliflower. So I've got a steamer here. I've washed my cauliflower and I've taken all the greens off of it and we're just going to set it inside. And the steamer, I've put it up to maximum and we're going to turn this on for 15 minutes. So if you don't have a steamer, you can use one of these little colanders. You put in water in the bottom of a pot, about an inch, and then you can spread this open, put it in the bottom of the pot, put your cauliflower on top, and you can steam it on the stove in the pot. So we will turn this on for 15 minutes because I find 15 minutes works quite well with my steamer, and we'll continue on working with our hamburger next. So part of the hamburger mixture, I have taken a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. So I've got the green beans, yellow beans, and carrots in here, and I want them a bit smaller. I'm using 2 cups, so it actually works better if they're frozen. That way you can just break them up into smaller pieces instead of having to cut them. Because cutting them, they fly all over the place, so you're wiser to just leave them frozen, and then you can put them in a pot and cook them up a little bit, and then we'll mix them into the hamburger mixture. There we go. And the carrots, they don't cut very well or break very well frozen, so I'll just use a knife and cut them up a little bit. It's time to cook the hamburger. So I have 2 pounds of hamburger, just under 2 pounds, but I'll say it's 2 pounds of hamburger. And we're going to get that started cooked up. Now that's the nice thing about our meats. Hamburger doesn't have any carbs in it, and if you use organic hamburger, organic meats, it is way healthier for you. Also, it doesn't have the antibiotics in it or all the other stuff that could be harmful to you. So if you have the opportunity to buy organic or can afford the organic, please do try it because it's really good for you. Now I have a cup of white onions. Now I chopped them all up. We'll mix this in. Which the cup of white onion is a larger white onion, is about the size. I just chopped one up and measured it just to see what it would be. And then I've got my favorite spice here, herbamare. I'm sorry I use it all the time, but it's just so much better than just plain old salt and pepper and then all the other spices you could use, whereas this is all in one and it has just such a really good flavor, and it's really good if you're just barbecuing a steak and you put this on and nothing else. It's absolutely delicious. So what I've done is I've measured out a tablespoon of this herbamare, and you can taste. If you feel there's not enough in there, you can add some more, but I think it works out pretty good with a tablespoon. So I'll let this cook up, get it browned a little bit, and then we'll add a couple more ingredients. So now our hamburger is starting to cook. I've got 2 stalks of celery. I've chopped them all up, so we're going to put them in. And also I have half a cup of beef broth, and I'm going to put that in just so that gives it a little extra flavor that'll go into the meat also. It'll be boiled down once we get the hamburger cooking here. We're going to add a tablespoon of Worcester sauce to give a little bit of flavor, and I have Heinz reduced sugar ketchup. It's lower in carbs, and we're going to put about a tablespoon in, and instead of me dirtying a tablespoon, I kind of have an idea how much it is. So we'll stir this in and we will boil it down to get rid of all the moisture because we want the flavor to go into the meat, and then we'll go from there. I've got my hamburger all cooked down. The moisture is mostly gone out of it, and now we're going to add in our mixed vegetables. They've been cooked and drained. We're going to add that. And we're going to be done cooking it for now. I'm just going to mix it all in to let you know what I'm doing with the mixture. And then I cut up a small zucchini. Now I actually peeled the skin off of the zucchini because they were starting to shrivel up on me, and I wanted to make sure I used them up. I didn't want to waste them. So there's our mixture that we're going to use in our shepherd's pie. And I'm going to set this aside, and then we're going to make our mashed no potato cauliflower, which is a recipe that I've already got on my site, and we're going to repeat it for the top of the shepherd's pie, and we're going to put a little extra special things in with it also. My cauliflower has been steamed, so now we're going to break it up, and we're going to put it in my Ninja and blend it in so we have a potato texture. I'm just going to reverse here. Now I've got a 1/4 cup of butter, soft butter, and I've cut them into cubes because we're going to blend them in with the cauliflower. And I'm going to sprinkle my favorite spice, herb Now you can use salt and pepper, you can use any spices that you would like. And it's about a teaspoon that we will be using. So I've just put partial of the cauliflower in, and we will mix this up. And it takes a little bit of mixing to get it to work. So you're going to have to stop in between and move it around from the sides and help it blend. So now we're just going to make room here so we can put in the rest of the cauliflower. The butter melted up with the heat from the cauliflower, and I use all the parts of the cauliflowers. I use the stem and everything, because when you puree it, you don't even know the difference. And if you even eat them separately, there isn't that much of a difference. There, that should do the trick. Now I didn't take the whole time I was blending this, and it does take a bit of time to get it down to a mashed potato, a mashed cauliflower. So be patient. You can also use almond bries as a milk substitute, and you could do that, but I prefer not to because that's just a little more adding onto the carb count, and I don't want to add any more onto the carb count. So we'll set this aside, and then we'll start putting our product together. Now we're going to put our shepherd's pie together. So I've got my hamburger filling and my mixed beans and zucchini that we're going to spread out into the pan, into the dish. And it's a 9 by 13 dish. So spread it all out, press it down a little bit. Now we're going to put some cheese on top of this. And the cheese actually helps it stick together and plus makes an excellent flavor. Now I had some leftover mozzarella cheese, and I'm just kind of going to be scattering it all over the top. But I usually use cheddar cheese. We're going to use the mozzarella, and I'll throw some cheddar cheese on top of it also. So normally you use about a cup of cheddar cheese. Now my cheddar cheese, I don't go through a lot of cheese, so of this kind of cheese. So what I do is I usually buy the big bar, and then I will shred it up and I throw it in the freezer. And then when I need it, all I have to do is take it out. It's frozen right now. Take it out and use my little hammer to break it up, and then I put it back in the freezer when I'm finished. So now it's time to add our mashed cauliflower. So you're going to just put plops here and there so you can distribute it around. Now your cheese might get all stuck and mixed in with it once you start moving stuff around. But we'll try to even it out as much as we possibly can. So that was a medium-sized cauliflower that we used. And we put butter and herbamare in it to give it some flavor. And like I said before, you can use all sorts of different spices if you would like, but I personally like the herbamare. There we go. So now we're going to put it in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. Actually, this herbamare I still like to sprinkle a little on the top because it's quite delicious. Just gives a little extra. But that's all up to you whether or not you want to put as much in as I do. You just go by taste. So that's it. I will put it in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes and then we will come back with the results. Our shepherd pie is all finished. It's been in the oven at 350, 35 to 40 minutes, and then I took it out and I let it cool down just a little bit so it's set. My first one I had trouble getting out, and that's no different than any kind of food. It's always hard to get the first piece of pie out or whatever. So here is my low-carb shepherd's pie. It's delicious. And I really hope that you give it a try and go to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com and check out my recipes and leave some comments and tell me what you think. Take care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.